I think I've discovered one of the franchise's first ever pieces of lost media. Counter-Strike forums have been around since the beginning. They're a great source for sharing anything about the game, whether it's a new map you created or just a simple question you have about the game. But back in the early days of Counter-Strike, Steam didn't have a community tab like it does today. In fact, Steam itself predates original Counter-Strike, so all discussions were held on external websites. And one of the most popular websites at the time was one named the Whole Half-Life, which was a forum specifically for any game that used the gold source or source engine, so games like Half-Life, Team Fortress Classic, and Counter-Strike populated the vast majority of it. And in my opinion, the best thing about these forums is the fact that they contain literally all of the collective knowledge that the community has acquired over the years. So theoretically, you could go all the way back in time to the first ever post made on them and read or download whatever was being discussed. And that's exactly what I was doing one day as a little trip down memory lane, and to my surprise, it turned out that the first ever post made on the forum was actually a Counter-Strike post. The post was created by a guy named Marwood and consisted of a custom map he created 21 years ago for the original Counter-Strike. The map was named CS_CanBunk and was provided with a single screenshot of the map, which in all honesty piqued my interest enough to make me want to download it to further explore it. But just as I was about to download the map and check it out for myself, it turned out the link was completely dead. There was no way to access this map. Okay, but as dramatic as it sounds, that really wasn't the end of the world because after all, the map is 21 years old, so the original link not working is somewhat expected. But I still really wanted to play it, so as an alternative, I simply googled the map to see if anyone had rehosted the world file at some point in time. But instead of finding a fresh download link, I stumbled upon multiple posts desperately searching for this particular map just like I was. I was still somewhat optimistic though, because considering the popularity this map seemed to have created, I was sure that someone would be in the replies with a fresh download link. But after looking through every single request thread, there was nothing, just people desperate to explore one of Counter-Strike's first ever custom maps. In fact, the only somewhat useful piece of information I could gather was a guy explaining that although many people were looking for the map, the link only lasted 2 years after the map was originally submitted, so the number of people who have accessed this map are extremely limited. But if you do go back to the original forum, there are 4 people who publicly reviewed the map before it got taken down, which means there are 4 people who could potentially hold this piece of lost media. Before I get into that though, I think it's important for people to understand how map downloads actually work in Counter-Strike Classic, and don't worry, it's pretty simple. Basically, you download the map, which is usually a zip file, to which you extract it and simply place it in the Counter-Strike map folder, to which that map will forever be in your Counter-Strike files, and more importantly for this video, you essentially have a copy of that map until you either manually delete it or uninstall the game altogether. Meaning if any of these 4 people have their original copies of Counter-Strike, they could redistribute the original CS_CanBunk. The 4 people that 100% downloaded the map are 7th Monkey, Mastermind, Andy, and Skeeve. Starting with the first ever comment on the map by 7th Monkey, who left a comment stating the following: "Well done Marwood, I like this map a lot, very nice rock face, I'm still making my first map and I envy you making a map of an imaginary place. 3 things though. 1, I think you need to change the timing of the waterfall sprites. At the moment, they all glow at the same time, which looks odd. Secondly, a few of the door frames have very odd textures. And finally, just make a few of the corridors a bit lighter. Some of them are pitch black." His comment provides us with a few details about the map we didn't know before, like the fact that there are dark corridors and waterfalls. But in terms of actually helping us find the original file, it seems fairly unlikely as the last time he visited the forums was 6 years ago. Mastermind, on the other hand, is a much more promising candidate, as he was active just 1 year ago and is actually the creator of the second ever custom map on the forum, which tells us he was at one point proficient in Counter-Strike map making and hopefully map preservation as well. But besides that, he has very limited information on his profile, but his original comment also provides us with a little bit more detail about the map itself. He specifically mentioned that he really loved the tower and rock face, but disliked how long the vent was, and the fact that a block would spawn above your head as you left the hostage room. But besides that comment, there is very little information on his profile, with one of the only posts being swarmed by the same people wanting to find CS_CanBunk, which tells me he is most likely aware of the mystery, but unfortunately cannot help in solving it. And it doesn't get much better from there, as Andy was last seen 2 years ago but has never mentioned anything about the lost map. And for Skeeve, well, he hasn't logged in for 18 years, so it's safe to say he probably cannot help us either. But the one thing I was still latching onto as a last hope was the big blue send message button below each of their profiles. But just like the map download itself, the message button is completely dead, leaving no way to get into contact with them. This video is sponsored by skinvault.gg, which is the best trading site that makes upgrading your skins as easy as possible. Literally all you have to do is sign into your Steam account, add your trade link, and then select all the skins you don't want anymore to get a brand new one from their huge catalog of skins. They also offer an instant selling feature for people who want a quick, easy, and safe way to cash out their inventories with the lowest possible fees on the whole entire market. So make sure to use code nilloc to receive a free $10 bonus on your first trade, as well as a 35% deposit bonus. SkinVault is unironically the best. However, what about the actual owner himself? Marwood created the map, so surely he has the most information out of everyone. But it seems as if he actually has the least. He's only logged into the site a total of 52 times, created his account 21 years ago, and last logged in 21 years ago, almost as if he solely created his account to post his one map. He does have a single forum post, but it isn't relevant to the map whatsoever, and he has never responded to a single comment asking him where his map is. His profile is basically just as obscure as the map itself. There is one last hope, because although only 4 people publicly reviewed the map, if you look over at the details of the map, you will see that it actually has over 4,000 downloads, so it is definitely possible that there is somebody out there who has this map on their computer but has no idea that it is a piece of lost media. So the best and most effective way to potentially find this map is just to get the word out as much as possible. For now though, with all the information we have, we know that the map is a hostage rescue map based in a small biolab hidden in an unknown location, with the theme being that the terrorists have taken the scientists of the lab hostage. As for the components of the map, we know that there is a vent system, a hostage room, a cliff face, and long, dark corridors. But hopefully in the future, we can piece together exactly how this map once looked. But as it stands right now, CS_CanBunk is a piece of Counter-Strike history that has been lost to time. However, it has created a small community of believers that unfortunately have nothing left to do but wait and hope that somebody might have an answer to this very obscure mystery. So if you have any information that could help in solving it, then please reach out by commenting. But as of right now, the hunt for Counter-Strike's lost map is still underway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I genuinely hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys mean the absolute world to me. Stay safe out there and have a wonderful day.